You talk about these things, you become so much more of a rare specimen. You literally separate yourself from all of the other motherfuckers that are physically attractive and charismatic on the same level as you. This is like a form of leverage, basically. If you can just be competent and have these weird habits, almost, but they are respectable. So, for example, meditation. If you meditate 15 minutes per day, no one fucking does that. No one does that in this ordinary modern day life. No one does that. And that is sort of respectable, right? Meditation isn't some weird shit like going in your fucking red light therapy, hyperbaric chamber, biohack, whatever, right? It's respectable, like a cold shower, like meditation, like reading. It's a respectable habit that people would be like, oh wow, I don't do that. That's really cool. That you're so disciplined, you're so competent. These will literally separate you. So, for example, if there's a high school Chad jock, right, that you've built yourself up now, you've built yourself up to match this jock in physical wise, charismatic wise. But how do you differentiate yourself? Well, it's by having this leverage point, by having your habits be this so much fucking interesting, by telling so much more stories, so much interesting shit, being this wild, one in a lifetime, fucking rare specimen. And so everyone will want to be with you because you're this rare specimen. You're like this outlying, attractive specimen. And so basically you can go above the high school jock simply by having interesting habits and good habits. Now, I believe there is a strong contingent of young men that have been sort of cursed from a young age to not be this attractive, to not be outgoing, expressive, whether that's from lifestyle choices of diet, people you're around, parts of the world you're in, or maybe even something more deep like genetics. And I like to believe that I was a part of that contingent once upon a time. I was a part of that contingent because I ate foods that were heavily estrogenic. Soy, edamame, tofu, soy sauce. Soy sauce isn't that bad, but it's still soy. I drank milk, ate sweets, ate chocolates on a daily basis, sometimes eating a whole pack of chocolate eclairs. 4 whole chocolate eclairs once every few days. But you can definitely make a comeback. A comeback that is so great that you out-attractive the high school jock motherfuckers. The motherfuckers with insane genetics that even if they indulge in bad habits like drinking, partying, eating full-on chocolate bars by themselves, they still have a six-pack. They still have a sharp jawline. They still have a face that looks like an alpha face, I guess. They have this like sort of caveman face that just is given to them naturally. And in this video, I will be outlining all the core ways, all of the pillars, all of the foundational things that attribute to your attractiveness, that can make you glow up in just a few years, provided that you have a growth mindset. Now, let me tell you a story. It's in primary school and I'm fat and I'm chubby, especially around the stomach and the face. And because I'm Asian, especially around the face. And it was all red. So I was just this weird, fat, chubby Asian kid with an emo haircut. But today was different. It wasn't your ordinary school day. In fact, we were going to a swimming center with the whole entire year group. Boys and girls. Me and my crush. And so we all get on the bus and it's about 20 children. But the children are obviously all high energy and jittery and bouncing around in the car, slapping each other, literally swapping seats and just throwing shit around, throwing pens, throwing rubbers, throwing the sick buckets around, and people are just getting disgusted, and it's a whole car ride. And so eventually we make it there in one piece and we get off, get into the swimming center, get signed in, and now we're in the changing room. But there's a problem here. Everyone's taking their shirts off and it seems so easy to expose their athletic, genetically gifted white boy skinny bodies. And they're all taking it off, taking towels, whipping each other and running around and bouncing around in the changing room. But there's a few others, me and a few others, that haven't taken their shirts off yet. And I believe I know why. I think they're all thinking the same thing as me. And that is that they're going to have to take their shirts off and expose their unattractive and ugly bodies, making them more insecure. And as I'm standing there trying to play along with my friends, trying to whip some friends and get along, there's a thought in the back of my head, and that is, what the fuck should I do about this? Should I take my t-shirt off? Fuck, I should have brought a swimming t-shirt. Now at this time, the teacher's telling us to go, and it's about time to take off the t-shirt. It has to be taken off. But my brain is crowded with thoughts. It is overcrowded with thoughts like, what if my crush sees me like this? What if all the girls see me like this? What if they see me like this and my reputation is dropped? And so I finally take it off, but there's a plan in my mind. And this plan was to, as soon as I go out, suck in my stomach for the whole duration that we are here in the swimming center. Suck it in. Even if I had man boobs and a fat chubby face and arms that were flabby, my plan was to suck in my stomach so that no one would notice and people would think that I'm more athletic than I really am. And so we all trot out in a single file line to the swimming pool, and there they are. Right across the other end of the swimming pool is all of the women in our class. And they look at us. They're looking over at our direction. And that was the most humiliating thing I've ever felt in a very, very long time in my primary school years. Now fast forward a good solid few years and I'm entering college now. It's been a few weeks into college and my shoulders are pulled back, my chest is out. My shoulders are swaying as I walk and my head is held high. Now I'm hench, I'm attractive, facially, physically, I'm charismatic and I'm confident in most areas of my life. And so I'm slow walking to my lesson in a relaxed way, deeply breathing to my stomach with completely zero thoughts in my mind. Only the fact that I'm present in the moment and I'm happy as well. And as I'm walking through the corridors, I notice something. Something's off. Something's out of the ordinary. People are looking at me. People are looking at me in a way I've never been looked at before. In a good way. People sitting down at the corridors, people walking by, people waiting for their lessons to start. They all give me, at least most of them give me a look. And it isn't that sort of disgusting look. It isn't that foul, you're ugly, what is wrong with you, there's something on your face type of look. No. It's like almost as if they've noticed my presence. They've been aware of my presence because I'm such an outlier. I'm walking in such a relaxed, slow way and with my shoulders swaying back with a nice walking style. A walking style that's probably, I'd say, better than most people's walking styles. So now as I walk into my lesson, right through the door, and keep in mind this lesson is mostly women, I sit down and I'm greeted with a thought in my mind, a subtle thought in the back of my mind that it's all going to happen over again. I'm going to get more signs that I'm attractive. I'm going to get more signs of interest from women again in this lesson. And I'm still completely relaxed. There is still no thoughts in my mind except that subtle thought. Because I know and I have experienced many signs from this class, outside of this class, in the gym, that I am actually attractive. Whether that be a woman constantly glancing over at my direction or maybe even trying to get my eye contact over maybe 5 or 6 times in the lesson. Maybe a decently attractive woman laughing at my jokes that, honestly bro, aren't actually that funny at all. Or it's just simply the fact that I have a magnetic presence and when I sit down on a table, people come to the table. Because we get to choose the seats every time and people come to my table. Whereas if you were to compare this to my old self, no one would sit on my table. First category is physical. Physical gives you this sort of front. It gives you this unique selling point to whoever you want to attract. It gives you a sort of innate confidence that if you wear a sort of muscular fit and sort of tight shirt, you look good. And when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, that translates to your body language and it makes you more confident overall. But you may be thinking that women aren't really attracted to the physical side, at least not as much as men. Men are highly visual. They look at the female, they're like, oh my god, that is such an attractive woman, I have to go talk to her. But for women, you've heard that they are attracted to the guy that is capable, all-encompassing, strong, confident, charismatic, capable financially, mentally, confident. You've heard that the female is more attracted mentally and sort of more attracted to the guy's personality, I guess. But it still matters. At least I believe so, that if you are sort of a chump, you still have a chumpy body and you're sort of unattractive, you may risk coming off as a class clown. Or you may come off as a sort of friend in a way. You're coming off as a really funny friend, but you're not fuckable. You're not respectable, you're not fuckable. If you were to look in the mirror and ask yourself, would I fuck this guy? And your body's all chubby, flabby, but you have a good personality, maybe you wouldn't fuck that guy. And I guess another thing is that physically wise, if you're hench, that conveys a thought in the mind of the female that you are a hard worker, you are disciplined, you are reliable, you can show up for something. And that in turn means something psychologically or subconsciously to the female, that you will turn up for the relationship. You are committed. You can be committed. And therefore you are more reliable. And so number one for being physically attractive is be hench. I know this is such a vague term to just be hench, right? Just be muscular. But it's really about going to the gym when you don't feel like it. It's really about out-competing all the motherfuckers at your school that go to your gym. It's really about out-competing all of the athletic people. A rule I can give you is that just going to the gym, just walking, dressing up and walking to the gym, going in the gym and lifting something is way better than fussing over, what about this technique? What if I'm doing it wrong? You just have to get in there. That is all you have to do. You just have to fight your mind. Even if you have to sit on your staircase whilst you're tying your shoes, staring at your shoes for 10 minutes, contemplating whether or not you should go to the gym. It's all about getting to the gym. And once you're at the gym, you'll find that your momentum starts to build up. You'll start to be able to hit the gym hard. And then the next day, you'll probably find that it is a little bit easier to go to the gym now. It's all about the momentum. And just another tip to make this even more easy for you, you can have accountability with a friend that is respectable, a friend that is strong, a friend that has good, strong beliefs and values. Not a chump friend that you play Minecraft with or whatever. You have to have a friend that is strong in their values, that maybe even hits gym themselves, and then you can go along with them. And basically what you can do here is have an accountability. And basically what you can do here is have accountability with them. Offer to pay £1 each time you don't go to the gym, $1, £1, or maybe you're gonna get digged, you're gonna get punched super hard on the arm each time you don't get to the gym. Or maybe it's a form of text and a video that you show your friend. Each time you have to, every day when you're going to the gym, you have to take a picture of you at the gym. Now, number 2 under the category of physical is go to a barber for a haircut. Now, I'll admit this haircut I have right now, if you've watched my previous videos where I have like a bit longer hair and it's a little bit more like cloudy, it's like a bit more voluminous. This haircut was actually done by my mum. I asked her to touch it up, just make it look cleaner, and this is basically what she did. She literally made this shit like really short. She made me a skinhead underneath this shit, and it's whatever, man. But the best thing you can do is to go to the barber for a haircut. And specifically, it's really, really good to convey to the barber what you want. In fact, one of the best haircuts I ever got from a barber was when I fully told him what I wanted, showed him all the pictures. I prepared beforehand a video that I watched about this guy getting this haircut, and I also prepared a bunch of pictures, and I also noted down what they said in that video to get the perfect haircut. And this haircut was sort of like Bruce Wayne type of like slick back type of shit, and it looked pretty good. But unfortunately, the next time I went to go and get the same haircut, the guy wasn't working there anymore, and I had to get it from this like young apprentice type of guy, and it just wasn't the same, because he was like, oh, can we just use the trimmer instead of all scissors? And I was like, fine, because I was sort of in a rush anyways. Hair is such a big thing to your appearance. It's like one of the biggest things for your appearance, and if you can't find a haircut that really, really matches you and is also low maintenance, so that you can focus on everything else, focus on actually getting your whole body fit. In fact, this is a thing that I've contemplated for a while, but essentially, if you make your body more muscular, more attractive, you start to develop a caveman skull with a Giga Chad jawline. If you start to do all of those, you start to be able to rock more hairstyles. Now, if I had this hairstyle when I was younger, when I was chubby, whatever, I would have killed myself, basically. I would have been so clapped that it would not be possible. Because if you make your appearance, your physical body appearance better, you get a sharper jawline, you're more lean and more attractive, the more hairstyles you can rock. And eventually you get to a point where you can rock a buzz cut. And I believe I can rock a buzz cut in maybe a few more years, when I get rid of like a little bit of this baby face and I actually start getting a lot of facial hair, and I like reduce the amount of chubbiness here, and I look basically like fucking prime David Beckham or whatever. The number 3 under the category of physical is your diet. Now, the diet plays a big role, especially if you have a less superior, an inferior genetic in a way. So, for example, if we take the jocks example again, right? The high school jocks and their super athletic bodies, even if they drink fucking Pepsi or Dr. Pepper or Coke, or they just bring this fucking fizzy drink into school and munch on chocolate bars, and they still look good. If we eat like a chocolate bar or two, it puffs up our faces, it inflames our bodies, and it increases fat in places that aren't really attractive. For example, the face, the belly, the throat here, and it just makes you look overall unattractive, even if you still have a hench body. So the diet plays an insane role here, and I believe that I'll leave a link to the best diet for productivity bulking, in my opinion, right? But I just want to give you some quick advice here. For health, generally speaking, a keto diet is the best. So keto diet is essentially just meat and vegetables for health purely. And you want to intermittent fast. So for example, skip breakfast. For bulking, you want to add a lot more carbs into your diet. You want to have a lot of rice, a lot of spaghetti or whatever. You want to have a lot of carbs, and then, so for example, lots of carbs, good amount of protein, and some vegetables, like that. And for productivity, it's simply just doing the intermittent fasting. You just have to do the intermittent fasting in the morning so that your brain works insanely well, because honestly, there's so many influencers, so many smart people, so many studies that indicate that when you're fasting, when your stomach is completely empty, your brain works in such a better way, and you get into this thing called flow state so much more easier. Now, number 4 is facial hair. Now, the facial hair, I used to think that when I had a little bit of a mustache here, if you look in my older videos, I had a little bit of a mustache here. Me looking at that mustache in the mirror, it looks so much more defined. It looks so much more like a real mustache in the mirror, with the LED light looking down here, and I'm close up. It looks so much better. But if you actually ask the opinions of your parents or your friends, they'll probably tell you that it isn't that much of a mustache. It isn't that much of a macho giga chad fucking mustache that you think it is. Chances are, and this was the case for me, right? It literally only looked like this shit. I literally looked like some old painting Chinese guy with two shit here, right? And honestly, bro, if you can't grow like a good substantial amount of facial hair, I believe the best thing for you to do is honestly just shave it all off and then just rock this sort of clean shaven look for a while until you can fully grow a beard, and then you can try out different styles like a stubble or whatever. And then apparently a 10-day stubble's the most scientifically attractive facial feature to a female. Now we move on to the category 2, which is charisma. Now charisma is such an important part of attraction because honestly it can boost the perception of your physical attractiveness by 10 times. And this is why it's important to have your physical attractiveness already pretty high, right? So that it can be boosted to the fucking top to make you literally become like a celebrity looking ass motherfucker, a model looking ass motherfucker. Simply because your charisma and your personality, the way you make people feel is just so fucking high that it boosts your physical appearance. And having good charisma is so important because I'll give you an example, right? So I think I'm pretty attractive physically wise, at least when I'm out in broad daylight and I have good lighting and I've taken a cold shower and I've got a tight t-shirt on, right? But there's this thing specifically that females do. And whenever you walk into a group of females, or maybe you're chatting to a friend and then like a bunch of females get introduced here, and from what you'll find is a lot of the times the females, if you're attractive, they need someone to break the ice for them. So let's say you got introduced to a group of females and they all have this like neutral face. They all have a neutral face or maybe an emotionless face. And this may come out as scary, and honestly, bro, a female not smiling, right? It's a bit scary. Dead ass. And especially when they're frowning. So essentially what you have to do there is realize that all you really have to do is just initiate. You have to initiate the conversation first. You have to break the ice, and as soon as you say something or whatever and there's emotion on the female's face, bro, all of that scariness, all of that drag, like the fucking dragon that you're facing, it's just all of that illusion, I'll call it illusion, it just goes away. And then you can start talking to them like they're like normal human beings instead of talking to a fucking dragon. You just have to break the ice with them. You have to make them feel an emotion. You have to feel, and the best emotion to make them feel is honestly just to make them smile. And then from then on, you can literally lead the conversation into such a good one simply because you've got a positive response from them. Now, point 1 under charisma is breathing. It's underestimated how charismatic you actually are. Under this insecure, this like silent self, you are actually more charismatic than you think. And the way to activate and go into your subconscious, the subconscious part of your brain, and pull out everything, every charismatic thing, everything that you've learned from fucking watching James Bond movies or watching channels like Charisma on Command, body language analysis, all of that gets pulled out if you are simply just relaxed, if you are in a parasympathetic mode or a parasympathetic state. It all just gets pulled out naturally like that. And as soon as you're relaxed by breathing, it's the fastest way to be relaxed, right? By breathing, you honestly can just sit there and thoughts will begin to surface up. These high-hitting, these comedic, these funny, charismatic, and value-conveying statements, jokes, questions just come out to your brain, to your subconscious brain. Your subconscious gives it to your conscious brain, and then all you have to do from then on is have the courage to go and speak it, to go and actually say it out loud to the class and not fear that judgment. And as soon as you do that for the first time, the rest of the lesson, these thoughts you can just keep on saying, keep on saying, keep on saying, keep on saying. And the simple way to breathe here is deeply breathe into your stomach and then to your chest, and then out through your mouth slower than the way you've breathed in. And I guess another way is from Andrew Huberman himself, and this is called a physiological sigh. Essentially, you breathe all the way until your stomach is full, you can't breathe anymore, manage to sneak in another forceful inhale on top of that, and then exhale all the way out through your mouth, longer than both of this shit combined. Now, number 2 under the category of charisma is the 3 basics. Now, this is something I lacked when I was an unsociable creature, and it's basically just smile, handshake, and call out their name. And essentially what this does is make you a normal sociable human again. And I used to make the mistake where I literally, when I was greeting someone or someone was trying to greet me, they greet me with a smile, right? And they go like, yo Benji, and they offer a handshake. All the 3 basics, right? But I failed once upon a time to meet that. And guess what I did? I literally had a frown, didn't even look them in the eyes, had a shit handshake with just like, it was just such a light handshake like that. And I was like, yo. And that was it. And that made people's perception of me to be this unsociable creature. And that is just not how you want to be perceived if you want to level up your charisma. And so if you essentially just smile, handshake, and call out their names, you'll find that you're put into a lot more situations where you get to practice your small talk or literally just learn more about that person. And the more people you know, this is like a general rule again, the more people you know in a single environment, a new person comes in or a new female comes in, a new attractive female comes in, because you know everyone in the environment, it will be so much easier to talk to that female because you know everyone in the environment. And this is basically your domain now. Now, number 3 is having a week of basic charisma consumption. Whether this is looking at people like Russell Brand when he was this fucking man whore, flirtatious man whore, and looking at Craig Ferguson, looking at charisma on command, looking at body language analysis. Just have a simple week of, whenever you're about to go to school, you're doing your morning routine, just turn on Charisma on Command or turn on Craig Ferguson and adult talk. There's a good video on this. Adult talk with Craig Ferguson, and it's quite a long video. I think it's like 40 minutes or something, and you can just put that on. And then for the whole week, you get the benefit of learning all of these tactics, and you'll also go to school to practice this shit in a playful manner. If you're watching, think about it. If you're watching Russell Brand or Craig Ferguson before school, and they're all laughing, they're all flirtatious, they're all playful, and to every guest, right? And you go to school, you may experience that you are actually more playful. You are a little bit more like Craig Ferguson when you're at school, and whenever you're doing any social interaction. You are a little bit more playful because you've been watching these motherfuckers before you came to school. And if you want to do a level above just watching this shit before school, you can literally just write down each tactic that they show you in like Charisma on Command or body language analysis. You can write down a tactic. You can write down one single move and try it once per day. And then from doing that, you'll literally start learning all of the tactics. You'll actually learn how to integrate it and how it works IRL in the social situation or whatever. Just take one tactic and use it once per day. And the 4th thing for charisma is simply just have either a bunch of friends or one single blood brother, or just maybe a few blood brothers. And I'm sure you notice this whenever you're with your friends, right? You sort of have this divided or shared confidence. Whenever you're with a group of friends, it just makes your confidence all that much bigger because you have a sort of social backing now. Whenever you fail from a social interaction, for example, if you're going to go cold approach a woman and you have a bunch of friends waiting for you to come back, you can literally go and fail, go back, and they'll be like, oh, it's fine, we'll get them next time. And that provides so much more confidence. And you can do this honestly from my own experience with a group of friends, a group of people, or if you just have one single brother. And just a bonus tip for you, on charisma is that if you actually genuinely think you have something funny to say that your subconscious brain just fed you because you're relaxed, is that you have to say it, man. You have to say it, and then that will literally break the cycle That will make you, once you break through this initial wall of, oh, I think something's funny in my brain, I kind of want to say it, but I don't know if I should say it or not. I don't know if I'll get a good reaction. You say it, and then chances are most of the time you do get a good reaction, whether it's from the class laughing, or it's the class finding that you're interesting, or it's increasing the perception of how intelligent, how knowledgeable, how interesting you actually are. You say it, and then that breaks a cycle. That breaks the cycle of you being just there, silent, and an observer. Instead, you become this sort of leader type of person. You become the initiator. You become the icebreaker. And this can start to break the old mold you have of being this like silent guy in the corner, and start to build a new mold of the action taker. The guy that breaks the ice for everyone. The guy that breaks the ice for the group of strangers on table that the teacher just told us to sit together because she wants to reorganize the tables or whatever. We have to make sure that this is truthfully honest to yourself. This is honest to your core. This is authentic. And then you actually know that you are an interesting person. You know this sets something in your subconscious to know that you truly, the true version of yourself from your heart, whenever you're at home, you're chilling out, that true version of you is actually more interesting than you think, because you said something that is authentic, that you do on a daily basis. An example I can give you is when the teacher told us to write down our family hierarchies and whatever, right? Just a group activity. I wrote down my rabbit, and no one else wrote down their pets. They literally just wrote like mother, father, them, sibling. And when I wrote down the rabbit, because honestly, I didn't even think this would get a reaction or whatever. I just put it down because it was true to me. It was true that it was my mother, it's me, and then it's my rabbit. And then I just got such a huge reaction to that because I was relaxed. That shit came to the front of my brain. I wrote it down. I broke through the wall. I expressed my courage. And then I got a reaction to that. And then that reinforced the fact that I am an interesting guy. I am a charismatic guy. And that provides a good positive feedback loop. Now, the third category is competence. Now, competence is essentially what makes it all up. It's like the final wrapper of the thing. You can be physically attractive and charismatic, but what if you're not competent? What if you're not able to protect? If I talk about this in a primal way, if you're physically attractive and you look like you can protect people because you're hench or whatever, and you're also charismatic, so you have a way of, with your words, you can persuade, you can seduce, you can sell something to someone. You kind of have to show that you can do more. You kind of have to show that you are more able, you are capable, all encompassing. You have these two, the charismatic and the physically attractive, and you have this. And this shows that you are capable, you are all encompassing, you are this person that can handle anything. You can face something, you can almost get killed by something, but you aren't killable. But you don't die. And from many books, many people online, the female wants to see that you are facing a bunch of bullshit. You are facing a bunch of shit emotions. You are getting a lot of sad shit thrown at you. You're getting shit thrown at you in life. There's a fucking tornado coming your way, but she wants to see that you are unfazed. She wants to see the thing that tries to kill you, but you don't get killed because you can't. You defeat the thing that is trying to kill you. She wants to see that part of you. And I guess another thing about competence is that if you are more competent, you have a better story to tell. You have a better charismatic thing. You have more stories to tell about shit you've done. And so the first thing for competence is meditation. Now, you may be wondering, why the fuck is meditation here in competence? Surely it should be like something that is competing. Surely it should be something like working on your business in the background and being this like cool Batman guy. Yeah, we'll get to that. But meditation is competence in your presence, in your ability to focus and truly listen to what the female is saying, to fully look into her eyes, and when she's saying A, know that she's actually talking about B. Know what she is actually feeling. With meditation, you can fully focus in on listening to what she is saying instead of just waiting for your turn to speak next. Meditation will bring you so much presence in the modern day world where people are literally just scrolling through TikTok, being addicted to their social medias and literally jittering around, flipping their pens and shit. Meditation will bring you this amazing presence that a female won't have felt very much in this modern day world. That honestly, if you just have this presence, she'll be all that much more attracted to you, because you can actually listen to what she is saying, listen to the truth, and respond to what she is actually saying instead of just waiting for your turn to get a joke in or whatever. And so the basics of meditation is, the most basic form of meditation, right, is just to breathe. Close your eyes and breathe. Focus on your breath. And every time your brain gets distracted into a thing you thought about that the other day, someone did something to you, every time your mind goes into that story and starts building the story or whatever, just bring it back to your breath. And maybe even whenever you breathe up, hold it there for a few seconds. Breathe it out, hold it there for a second. So inhale, hold, exhale, hold. And then another thing you can do is honestly just focus it on a small part of your body as well. Focus on your breath and a small part of your body. So I like to focus it on here, and some people like to focus it on their fucking fingers or toes or whatever. And that is the most basic guide to meditation, and I do that for about 15 minutes per day, and it's been such a helpful thing to eliminate, to be relaxed in a lot of situations, to eliminate those anxious thoughts that whenever a attractive female is next to you in the gym or whatever, it eliminates all of those anxious thoughts. This, I believe, is the number way to be more competent. Your habits. So what type of habits do you have? Do you have a habit of drinking, going out to party, weekend warrior, drugs, porn, eating junk food? Are those your habits? Because if those are your habits, you'll slowly, no matter how much you increase your physical health, keep on going to the gym, or charismatic, let's say you keep on practicing your social skills, but you still have these bad habits, it's like sailing against the wind, almost. It's like sailing against a giant tsunami. You're literally hindering your growth because of that. And so if you have good habits like reading, meditating, these habits that are sort of like outliers, these habits that the normal people don't do at all. Reading like 10 pages per day, meditating, cold showers, fucking 5 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m. These things are so extraordinary and so weird, such a weird complex to the ordinary individual that if you talk about it and they already have some attractiveness to you, they're already slightly interested because you've mastered the physical self and the charismatic self. You talk about these things, you become so much more of a rare specimen. You literally separate yourself from all of the other motherfuckers that are physically attractive and charismatic on the same level as you. This is like a form of leverage, basically, if you can just be competent and have these weird habits almost, but they are respectable. So for example, meditation. If you meditate 15 minutes per day, no one fucking does that. No one does that in this ordinary modern day life. No one does that. And that is sort of respectable, right? Meditation isn't some weird shit like going in your fucking red light therapy, hyperbaric chamber, biohack, whatever, right? It's respectable, like a cold shower, like meditation, like reading. It's a respectable habit that people would be like, oh wow, I don't do that. That's really cool. That you're so disciplined, you're so competent. These will literally separate you. So for example, if there's a high school Chad jock, right, that you've built yourself up now, you've built yourself up to match this jock in physical wise, charismatic wise. But how do you differentiate yourself? Well, it's by having this leverage point, by having your habits be this so much fucking interesting, by telling so much more stories, so much interesting shit, being this wild, one in a lifetime fucking rare specimen. And so everyone will want to be with you because you're this rare specimen. You're like this outlying, attractive specimen. And so basically you can go above the high school jock simply by having interesting habits and good habits. Number 3 is having a clear goal to walk towards. Having a clear goal will basically center yourself. It'll make you more masculine in a way. It'll make you have more masculine sexual energy because you're you're anchored, right? You have something to hold on to, and therefore the females that are like true in feminine nature, they can hang on to you, and you can sort of lead because you have this clear goal to walk towards, and you walk towards it, and you truly want this goal. If, for example, it's like a deep business goal to get 10k per month to retire your mum, retire your families, provide for your family. If it's a goal like that, it will make you have this inner confidence, this dark inner confidence that if you are sort of wavering, you're getting shit thrown at you on the outside, people are making fun of you, you still have this inside of you. You still have this inner thing to work on, and then you can always come back. You can always make a comeback on your outside social charisma, physical attractiveness levels, your reputation, if you just have this inner thing still there. So essentially, when you have a purpose or goal to work towards, you can be unfazed in everything else. This also sets you apart from so many other people. This gives you ambition, and a feminine female loves someone that has ambition. You have an ambition, you have a goal to work towards. You're not just a chump that just fucking lies around and shit, because you can still be broke and people will still, women can still be attracted to you, but you have to have this ambition. The way to attract a female when you are broke and all the way at the bottom, to attract a day one girl that will be there when you're a millionaire, married hopefully, is to be ambitious. It's such a big difference, honestly. Think about it. If you're just a chump, right? If you're just a chump lying around, your only goal in life is just to have fun and go to parties, drink, weekend warrior, it is so unattractive, honestly. Whereas if you're still like a chump, right, a little bit like a chump, you're still going to gym, you just started gym, and you're starting on the good habits, and you're trying, and the female can see that you're trying, and you have a goal to work towards, and you tell her something like, oh, I'm doing this for the both of us, I need to provide for us, just let me have some alone time once every day, like a few hours by myself to work on this, and then when we're at the top, and then I'll bring you to the top with me. Now that is honestly so fucking cold, honestly. Amazing. A feminine female wants a guy with ambition. So the way to attract a female when you are broke and nothing is to be ambitious. Now the last and final thing in competence is who you surround yourself with. Now this isn't just in real life with your friends or whatever, although that is highly important. This is, I'll just tell you a quote. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang around with every single day. That's a well-known quote from every fucking part of the self-improvement space. You'll become more like them. For example, if 5 of your friends are all Discord moderator motherfuckers that just sit on their computers all day, you'll likely become like them as well. But if you have a friend that is on self-improvement, good habits, going to the gym, you'll become like him as well, and you'll grow together because you are both growth mindseted. If you're on self-improvement, it's likely that if you're on self-improvement, you have a growth mindset, right? And just a quick thing, I know I'm going on a side tangent, right? But just a quick thing on how to find self-improvement friends. It's very simple, but it's kind of hard. It's simple, but it's hard. It's a little bit hard because all you really have to do is polarize yourself. You have to share your ideas in the modern world. Although it's uncomfortable, or if you have some inner red pill thoughts that you just want to speak out loud, red pill, I think meditation is good because I don't like TikTok. People who watch TikTok every day for 3 hours, you're a fucking loser. Just start speaking all of this shit out to your school. I know it's hard and it's gonna hurt at first. People are gonna hate you, but this is where the gold comes in. People start hating you because they're incompatible. Even if you were to be friends with them, it will always be a shallow relationship. These people that hate you because you've said out your ideas, your true ideas from your inner self, your true authentic ideas, they will go away. They will hate you because they are incompatible. And this is where the gold comes in. Your brothers, your golden brothers, the ones you can trust with your life, your blood brothers can come in now. because they know what you're about. They know what you're about, and then you'll start to attract these golden brothers that literally love you and repel those that are incompatible with you from the start anyways, that you don't even want to hang out with anyways. And so what I really mean by who you surround yourself with is online. Online, it's still the same thing. If you just completely watch these stupid entertainment channels like Mr. Beast, even like fitness small Mr. Beast, like Jesse James West or whatever, they're all basically just copying Mr. Beast's formula of entertainment. Instead, you should probably find some more helpful, some more valuable giving people, some more valuable people to surround yourself with, to unsubscribe from all of these channels that are useless, that you don't want to be like, and subscribe to those that are truly strong, humble, and motherfuckers that have beliefs and values that align with yours. And with that said, if you are interested in getting a hench body and becoming your best, like lean, bulky self, going from 45 kg to 75 kg myself, if you want to be a part of a 28-day journey with me, a fitness program, it's pretty high tickets. If you are interested in something like that, you want to excel your fitness progress in just 28 days with a full comprehensive weekly call for 4 weeks and many other bonuses, check out the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, bro. In a bit.